So we're here to talk about your new show, Arrow, but I can't start off with Arrow. I've got to start off, of course, with Teen Wolf, because you've got so many Teen Wolf fans out there. Colton, obviously they miss you on the show. What was it like leaving?
It was really heartbreaking. I mean, people think that, most of the time when people leave shows, it's for a bad reason. This was not for a bad reason at all. And, I had to take I wanted to be in all the episodes, and it didn't work out that way, so I had to take a leap for myself, and Arrow came along, and then now I'm happy to be on that show. The other day we had a screening of Teen Wolf at our creator Jeff Davis's house, and I hang out with all of them every day, and they're always gonna be my family, so that's all that matters to me. So
what was it like filming those last scenes?
Well, the issue was at the time I didn't know that I was going to go back to the show. So, they had two alternate endings where I either died or I became a werewolf. And they picked the one where I became a werewolf, where I lived, and then I ended up not returning, which was really sad. But in the storyline this year, they said Jackson is now the American werewolf in London. Yeah. So I'm in London right now.
Oh, so live during TV.
Yeah, weird. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's a camera here trying to film Jackson in London. Who knows?
Yeah, Jackson, the reality show.
Yeah, Jackson is actually in London right now. So
keeping it real, definitely.
Yeah, you have to still. I have love for all my Teen Wolf fans who have actually still stayed with me, through the Arrow phase. So, they're still great. They still tweet me all the time, so I guess.
Good stuff. And what's it been like shooting Arrow, if you're pardon the pun, compared to Teen Wolf?
It's completely different. It's Teen Wolf was a lot about the relationships, like really close relationships, and also they have a lot of special effects makeup. With Arrow, it's a lot of, there are really great relationships, but it's on a really massive scale. We have cranes flying. I mean, at any point we have so many cameras filming, and they've just got such a great budget, and the show's just had such a success, and due to the comic book fans and due to DC that we're able to do so many things with Arrow, and we're able to shoot so many things that some of it doesn't even make it onto TV. So you never know what you're going to be talking about when you're doing press, because some of the fans didn't actually get to see a lot of the things you've done, and which is exciting because keeps you on your toes. So
definitely. What were the things in the last season that you thought, oh, that didn't make it in, it would have been great if it had, or wonder if it'll be on the DVD?
Well, there was besides a lot of the bloopers that come from me trying to, instead of do choreography, doing the fight choreography, it looks like I'm actually in a boy band or doing hip hop dancing, which is not what you're supposed to be doing when you're trying to do a fight scene. So it's like me not quite understanding choreography, but there's that, and there's also there was a few great scenes between Thea and I, kind of explaining a little more about our relationship, and possibly explaining things that we were going to do together to help save a few people. But I think they wanted to keep it more of a mystery, so they could drag it out to the second season. So that's going to be exciting for the fans, because they're going to get to see something that's been in the works for by the time the show comes out, at mid-October is when the second season comes out, something has been in the works for 6 months. So it's going to be really exciting, and it's going to be great to see their reaction to those scenes.
Yeah, so will you kind of be reliving moments that were left out in that first season with Thea, or taking things a different direction, or do you know yet how it'll work?
I do know that within the very first episode, you find out that there is a time jump, a 4-month time jump. So at that point, Roy and Thea's relationship is really, they're really in it. And, obviously they're young, so anything can happen with young love. But, I've watched TV shows where people stayed together for years upon years and, gone through the hardships together for 5 seasons. But I feel like they're going to be faced with a really, really hard decision based upon who finds out who unmasks the hood and who does it first. So you never know. If Roy unmasks the hood first, Roy now knows that Thea's brother is the vigilante, So, would he keep that from her? You never know. If she's going to find out, it could turn into a triangle of really a triangle of darkness in a way,
Yeah, gosh, darkness, secrets.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of secrets, and I have a feeling that Emily Ricard's character, Felicity Smoak, is going to, I have a feeling because she obviously knows everything that's going on within the group, so, you know, if people are going to her for information, she could be a big asset to helping keep the identity secret for Oliver.
Gives the whole thing a really interesting dynamic, don't you think?
Yeah, it's there's so many different things that they can do, and it's great because the first season's obviously about introducing a lot of the characters and things like that, which they've done really great job at, but now the sky's the limit with where they can go with everything, and who you think is, you know, actually a good guy in a sense could actually just be, you know, just trying to help the bad guys out, so.
Ooh, excitement, hey, and mounting.
And I'm trying not to give everything away. Yeah. There's going to be, I always know, because I always know if the interviews that I don't give too much away, the executive producers like Greg Berlanti or Mark Guggenheim or Andrew Kreisberg, they'll retweet it, or they'll tweet about it, so I'm like, oh, phew, thank God. Okay, I still have a job, thank God. Yeah.
But let's move a little bit away from spoilers then, and let's move on to, I know for Teen Wolf, for example, you had a very intense fitness regime going, didn't you? Yes. And you have been tweeting some kind of gym shots lately, haven't you, as well? Yes. You're still keeping that up for Arrow, but how does it compare for that? Are you training in a different way at all?
I'm definitely training a different way. For Teen Wolf, I put on 20 pounds, which for me is, I mean, I've been a runner my entire life and played tennis and things like that, and my whole family's naturally kind of small. So, having to put on muscle is really difficult because you have to, I mean, most people are like, you have to eat all day, that's amazing. But no, like you actually have to eat all day and you get tired and you feel sick all the time. So now I'm taking a departure from that, and I think I'm just putting on 10 pounds and doing it, not really using any supplements, just doing it healthy and just trying to stay away from any, you know, cardio, but just having to do heavy weights and things like that. So, I mean, with training means probably have to be shirtless again, and you know, which is nerve-wracking, but you get over it eventually. So, you know, I have to keep up with the Greek. I don't call him Stephen Amell. I just call him Greek God. His first name is Greek, and he's not even Greek, but he just looks like a statue. Yeah. Is
it nervous, those first scenes when you have to do that?
You know, it's funny because it's like it's all smoke and mirrors with TV. You know, so like. Everyone that has like romantic love scenes and things like that, you're not just going at it. There are you have to be placed the right way. There's things, you know, like that. So when there's scenes like that, obviously you want to look your best and you want you know, the product to come out that you've actually been working hard at working out, or you just, you know, do a good angle and make it look like you've been working out, and you know, you beg them to Photoshop in some extra abs, and then, you know, you might have to like slip them a few 20s, but I would never do that. I wouldn't use a body double or anything for ab shots.
That never happens in film or TV.
I've actually never done that, but now that I'm saying it, I would love to do that. So if I could
take a few days off from the gym.
I would love if they could just let me do that. They used a body double for me for the makeup on Teen Wolf because I was allergic to the makeup. So if they could just find some like really ripped dude to like just do all my shirtless scenes, then I'd have the best job in the world. Yeah.
Maybe something to discreetly put to them when you get back.
Well, I need to put that in my. Well, the issue is I just signed my contract, so now I can't add things in there. I should have put must have shirtless body double on set who is a supermodel. I don't know. No.
Damn it. Season 3.
Yeah, season 3. Hopefully the fans keep watching so they can help me out with that.
When we spoke on the red carpet recently, you told me your brother's a huge comic book fan. So what was his reaction when he found out you were on Arrow?
I think the first of all, when he found out, I actually didn't tell anybody because everyone, you know, a lot of my family watched, you know, Teen Wolf, and my nephews do, and they were devastated because they, you know, but my brother found out from a comic book website, the one, he goes on this specific one every day, I'm not quite sure what it's called, and found out that I was going to be playing the role, and I thought something was wrong. Like, I thought my nephew was hurt. I thought something was going on. He was like hysterical. And I was like, what is going on? And he's like, you're playing Roy Harper. He's literally like the Robin to the Batman of the series. And I was like, I didn't really know a lot about it when I went into it. I didn't, it came out of nowhere. It was one meeting and then they gave me the role and I was like, okay, now I know I look like the character, so now I have to figure a lot more about the character. And the thing that stuck with me was the fact that this will be the first time where, because I'm always playing the bad guy or things like that, and you know, I am a little rough around the edges, kind of bad boy-esque on the show, but he's able to have a really big redeeming quality and kind of save a lot of people and aid to, people's lives. So that's the one thing that stuck with me. I was really excited about that.
So not being a kind of comic book geek, was there anything you thought to yourself, God, what was the strangest thing he told you about the whole world? You thought, is that true? Can that be right?
Well, he told me that the fans, obviously it's funny. I feel like I'm being interviewed every day by him, which is so funny because I'm like, I've told you everything that I know. And he, I might have to have him sign like an NDA, so like a non-disclosure, so he can not tell people what's happening. But he just said, the fans are so invested, and you're going to see a lot of that, and which I have seen a lot of that. The most unexpected people that you wouldn't think. I thought it was maybe a more teenage show, but it's not. It's actually our demo is a lot higher. So, and now I have like so many different types of people coming up to me, saying that they really enjoy the comics, and that's great. And so I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Of the things that he's told you about the comics and Green Arrow, what would you really love to see happen in the show at any point? I would love,
it's interesting because with Emily's character, she plays Felicity, Smoak, of course. She blew everybody away from the beginning, and that's why they made her a series regular in the first place. And it'd be interesting because their chemistry, her and Steve or Oliver's chemistry, is pretty electric. It's really right from the get-go. It's like she's fawning after him all the time, and he's flirting with her, and everyone's wanting, I think they call it allicity, to work out. The shippers are saying allicity. That'd be nice to see, but at the same time, if they get together, it's going to ruin the whole, so that would be fun to see, some sort of thing like that, or to see Felicity Smoak's character get a romantic kind of involvement with someone.
Wait and see if that happens, hey?
Maybe Roy will meet, Felicity, you never know. I doubt it, because I guess I'm right now me and Thea are the only teenage, people on the show, and I think Felicity might be like 25, so technically that'd be robbing the cradle. So Felicity would be like, yeah, that would be really interesting.
But we have to wait a few seasons for that.
Yeah, I actually don't even think I'm 18 yet, so technically it'd be illegal. So Felicity cannot, go after Roy, so that's probably never gonna happen.
No, that would be totally
and plus
bad.
Thea would probably beat her up, so.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Now, if you could give Roy any advice, if you could give your character Roy any advice for season 2, what would it be?
The advice I give to Roy is like, I hope you wash your hoodie, or hope Thea washes your hoodie for you. B, I would tell him, just to start trusting people. I think let people in a bit. I know he's lived a long life of not letting anybody in, and he has a reason to do that. But at the same time, these people are. I think Thea genuinely cares about Roy, and I think I know he genuinely cares about her. But right now, it's looking like Roy will do anything in his anything possible to unmask the hood and to become a part of Oliver's team. And I do think that, possibly doing something to harm Thea could come about by him trying to do that. So, I don't know, we'll see. His obsession is, Roy Harper's like kind of becoming a fanboy of Oliver Queen, but you don't know if it's because he really wants to work with him or because he wants to, possibly betray him.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Excitement,
Hidden
more
agendas.
Excitement.
Hidden agendas. That's all of Arrow's hidden agendas. So that should be like a little extra on the DVD.
Definitely.
With my hip hop dancing.
Definitely. Well, this we would love to see.
It's horrible. It looks like an NSYNC video. This is what my choreography looks like, or my stunt choreography.
Are you going to have any good bloopers on the season 2 DVD? Do you think?
It's funny. I don't think they're going to release it, which is unfortunate. I'm actually glad they're not going to release it because it's embarrassing. They put together a season 1 blooper reel, and just kindly, we didn't know about it. They sent it to all of us, and you're laughing until your parts come up, and they're adding sound effects and making you look even more like a loser than you already are. So I hope that doesn't come out. But season 2, I'm sure I'm gonna be clumsy and fall, and that's always how it is. So you live with it. You just live with it.
Now, if you could see any characters from those DC comics that your brothers told you about come into either season 2 or future seasons at any point, who would you like to see come in?
It'd be interesting. I keep saying Black Widow, and it's not Black Widow. It's Lance's Laurel Lance's character. Her character is supposed to be this pivotal character that could really come in and toss things up. And my brother keeps asking me. He keeps asking me, is this who it is? Is this who it is? And it'd be interesting to see that. Also, there's gonna be some new characters. I'm sure if you guys have read, that are going to be joining, and some very, very well-known characters that have been in prior movies. So I think it's going to be exciting to see who they cast as those people, and or if they can get some of the people from the actual movies who have played. So
wow, how cool!
Yeah, you never know.
Who are you most looking forward to out of those ones to come in then?
It's funny because it's the ones that I say are always the ones that people start speculating. So this is not, I obviously don't know. I know that there are a lot of popular ones, but it'd be nice to see. Gosh, it would be nice to see. Obviously, everyone wants Superman or things like that to come in, but I don't know if that will happen. But I don't know, maybe Flash or like Green Lantern, maybe. I don't know, maybe, you never know.
Two greens.
Yeah, if I'm sure. I mean, Ryan Reynolds, he's it's not like he's a big movie star or anything.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure he's got a lot of downtime.
He's probably got so much downtime.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'd love to have him on the show. We might have to audition though. So,
yeah, well, this is the thing, isn't it? Because you never quite know what someone's going to be like, do you?
You never know. So, I mean, if Ryan is available and he's watching this interview right now.
Exactly. And he's got time for a quick audition.
He's probably following me on Twitter and going to watch this.
You could throw a tape together and send it to you.
We'll just call Blake. We'll get her to talk to Ryan. Yeah.
Sounds good to me. It's going to happen, I can see it now.
It'll happen, yeah.
Now, obviously you said before that you pick up several months after that really memorable season finale for season 1. That was quite something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How is that going to work, do you think, for the show, for fans like coming back in? And what was it like filming on that finale on that old Watchmen set as well?
I didn't realize, I had seen Watchmen before, and I knew it was a big grand kind of production, and I really enjoyed the movie, but I didn't realize that we were going to have almost the same treatment as they did. They allotted so much time for us to shoot the finale, and we had such a great team doing it that everything was preset when we walked in, and there were I think 5 sets already preset up with other cameras. So we had cranes, we had cameras attached to cars, and it was just this. It actually was really epic when we were doing it. It wasn't just done in post. It was actually, they made it feel like the destruction was actually going down, which was amazing. And I was actually like trying to. It's always funny because it takes me a while to. I always have the bad luck where I'm running in to hit my mark, and I always run into like one of the extras running by or something. So that took a while because that happened, and that would probably make the blooper reel as well. But it was just the way it turned out. I didn't actually. I saw a few scenes from the finale. I've not watched it all the way through because I'm very upset with what happened at the end with the Thomas character. But he's just incredible. So I know that by reading it was incredible. I haven't seen the final product, but I hear that it was just as good.
What do you get up to between takes on set? 'Cause I read that on Teen Wolf, for example, there's a lot of these double fake outs going on, a lot of pranking.
It was, oh gosh. If Teen Wolf was a reality show, we would be like move over Kardashians. We would be the most, even our daily lives. Like Holland Roden, she is the most special person I mean special in like every single aspect of the word. I've never met someone so entertaining than this girl. I mean, it would be a reality show that unlike any other. But it's the same with Arrow. Arrow's, Arrow is so busy. It's like everyone's, I mean, Steven doesn't ever have a day off even to think about anything, so he's just busy, which is great because it really sets a great precedent for the rest of us. But for the ones that kind of come in and out, we tend to cause a little trouble sometimes. But it's all in good fun.
What's the craziest thing that you've done so far?
On the set of Arrow, the craziest thing that I've done so far, I actually, the video didn't turn out very good, so I'm gonna use some of the videos, but I'm gonna edit it together. You're obviously familiar with the Ellen show, Ellen DeGeneres. She does these dance dares where, someone will be having a serious conversation and you walk up behind them and you do like a really funny dance and you edit it to whatever song you want to. I've done a few of those, but I really don't want to like piss some people off and add it on without telling them, so I might have to tell them before I put the video. Or, you know, Ellen could just, you know, have me on a show and
Exactly.
I could do it there. So you never know.
Exactly. And we want to see that.
We could, you know, we actually joked about how if Roy Harper was going to find his parents this year, that we would reach out to Ellen DeGeneres to be my mom.
I like you thinking. I like your thinking.
I think we look quite similar. Same features, almost same haircut.
And then you could do like a little dance together when you meet up, you know?
I think she'd play a great mother for Roy Harper.
You retweeted something that someone said on Twitter the other day. Someone had said that your Teen Wolf co-star Holland should play Mary Jane in the amazing Spider-Man movies now that we're not going to have Shailene Woodley anymore. Yeah. And obviously you retweeted it, so I'm thinking you got a big thumbs up from you. So why do you think Holland would make a good MJ?
You know, there's some rumors going around that they, you know, could possibly be going out to Holland Roden to do that. Which I don't know if it would be replacing Mary Jane or if it would be possibly playing another character. But I think Holland would have been an amazing choice. I think Shailene Woodley is absolutely incredible.
She is.
I've, you know, obviously nothing against her. I think she's such a talented person, and that performance and you know, and the last performance she had done in Descendants was, I almost said Divergent, but that hasn't come out yet. It was incredible. But I think Holland is just, she really fits the role. She's such a, I mean, she needs to get more credit for the things she does. You know, you watch her on Teen Wolf and she's just got so much emotional depth, and she's such an amazing actress. And I literally could see Holland being like the next Reese Witherspoon. She's got so much character and she works really hard for it. So I would love to see her do that, because it would, you know, it show the rest of the world what she can actually do.
Now we've got lots of fan questions for you, and fans like ColtonHaynes.org asked us to ask you, what do you like most about London and England?
They're so good to me, the people that run that site. The thing I love most about England is the people. The people are so, you know, so cultured and so nice. And
of course we are.
Yeah, see, exactly. And sometimes maybe I can try to talk like that, but I always go a little cockney, and people make fun of me if I try to talk like that, because then they obviously know I'm American. So I just think that the people here are just so nice, and you know, I think it's because you guys are so happy that if you want to get away from the cloudiness, you can take a $50 Ryanair flight or a train to Paris or a train anywhere, and you guys can be in paradise. So with us, it's not quite the same, but you know, I think the thing about London is just there's like an electricity about the city, and you know, that's just the people.
And you've been at Wimbledon as well, we know, while you've been here. And somebody wanted to ask you, you said on Twitter that you'd met Downton Abbey's Michelle Dockery and that she gave you all the secrets. They want to know what the secrets were, so spill, Colton.
So I was so embarrassed, because I'm not the person to walk up to someone and like tell them. I just act like I don't know who they are. Secretly, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Lady Mary. Like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I was like in the corner, and I opened my mouth and said that I was a big fan of the Downton, and then they dragged me over to her, and I looked like I was a fan, and it was, even though I am. And she was very nice though. She gave me, I don't know if they were secrets, and if they are secrets, I have to keep them a secret. She ruined one of the things for me because I haven't finished the 3rd season yet. So she started off by ruining that for me, and then saying something else.
And you think British people are so nice, you see?
Yeah, well, she ruined my favorite show for me, but you know, gosh.
So another fan question, what do you order at Starbucks, or whichever coffee emporium is your one of choice?
I'm an avid Starbucks fan, which everyone makes fun of me for that, because there's probably a lot, you know, there's so many amazing coffee places out there, but I get every single day, I get an iced grande Americano with half and half and 2 Splendas. And sometimes when I'm feeling adventurous, I will get a venti. And sometimes I get the sausage and cheese, it's not a McMuffin, that's McDonald's. Wow, now they know I eat McDonald's a lot. The sausage and cheese, whatever, muffin.
Toasty sandwich thing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's good. Good to know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm having Starbucks right now.
Now, somebody wanted to know what you like most about being famous.
I think with being on a TV show, you have the opportunity to kind of talk to people that, you know, that you wouldn't. I have an opportunity to talk to all the people that follow me on my social media, which is great. And also, you get to let people know that the things you do on camera are not you, you know? I mean, I'm not, I don't know, I'm kind of obviously like spastic and crazy and, you know, always talkative and things like that. And like the roles I played in the past are just very brooding, and I do a lot of eyebrow acting. And I kind of always am kind of trying to be very sexy, which is not me in real life. So it's nice to, with you know, I don't know, whether it be fame or just having, you know, a following, you get to I don't know, kind of be a voice for some people. It's nice to kind of, I hear from people from like the Midwest, because I'm from Kansas, I hear from people all the time saying that they have dreams of doing what I do, and you know, that if whether they look up to me for you know, getting out of the Midwest and pursuing a dream that I've had my whole life, that's nice to hear, because as long as you can talk to them and say, you know, this isn't you know, magic. It's if you want something, you go after it and you keep trying until you get it, and then you know, then at least you have to try. So that's that. With that, you can do that. With fame, you can do that. So.
That's good stuff, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. And I love the eyebrow action, I must say, you had going on there.
It's just, I don't know why that happens, but I don't know. People always say that they look like caterpillars, and they're gonna molt and fly away into butterflies.
Somebody else wanted to know what movie projects, have you got any movie projects coming up? And if not, what would you like to do ideally?
I don't have any right now coming up. There are a few, there are definitely a few possibilities for me right now. They would have to work into a schedule. But with the success of the show, I've had some opportunities to really, take some really great meetings and get really close on a few projects. Obviously with film, it takes a lot of time. And I've been really close in a few projects for film before, but it just hasn't been the right timing, you know? So I hope that some of these, or at least one of these things pan out, and that it works out with the schedule. So it'd be nice to I don't know, you know, it would be my first time doing a movie.
What movies and TV shows do you like to watch when you've got a bit of downtime? You can't say Teen Wolf or Arrow.
Okay, I can't say Teen Wolf. Obviously Downton Abbey, but I'm done with that Michelle Dockery.
Exactly, so over it.
On my list. I mean, she's on my actual list, like on Arrow. But I love Shameless. I've only caught a few of the English version of the show, but I got sucked into the American version, which is based off of the show here, and I think it's one of the most underrated series on television. You know, it's a really kind of, it's a gritty kind of amazing show that I'm obsessed with right now. And Breaking Bad is also incredible.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get through the first season right now, but it makes me want to throw up sometimes, so I have to like walk away. But the acting is incredible. And what else do I watch? I always catch, like, if I'm flipping through the TV, like the channels, I always catch, they probably don't have it here, but I love HGTV, which is like Love It or Listed, or like, you know, the Property Brothers. It's all these shows about like real estate and buying homes and, you know, like things like that. So, I mean, pretty exciting stuff.
Are you picking up advice for buying the whole portfolio of?
Well, I'm buying a house for the first time at the beginning of the year. And obviously, I would like my homes to look like all of these nice places, but I wouldn't say I'm cheap. I think that's going a little too far. I would say, is frugal a better word?
Good words.
Frugal?
Yeah.
I'm cheap. I just want to say that. It's terrible, but I would rather, you know, I would rather save than. Well, on some things. I definitely splurge on some things, but yeah.
Final few fan questions.
Okay.
So, favourite city in the world that you've been to, and where would you like to go?
Oh, that's a hard one. Favorite city in the world? I can do a top three.
Okay, go for it.
London, Berlin, Paris. Oh no, I'm gonna have to do a top 5.
Top
Sydney,
20.
Australia. Portofino, Italy.
Ooh,
There's
I
so
like
many
it.
more, but I'm just gonna have to stop it there. And then, yeah.
Where else would you like to go to you've not been yet?
I want to go to Brazil. I want to go to Barcelona. I want to go to China. I want to go to Japan. I want to go so many places. Yeah, and I think I'm going to go to a few of those places by the end of the year. So I'm excited.